All right, welcome to Proverbs Guys Ministries. I am one of your hosts, Stephen Andrew. I'm glad you guys came out for this really cool episode. I'm getting to interview a very good friend of mine, and I want to I'm about to play a song for you guys from his album. It's a really cool song. I listened to it a couple times. I think you guys will dig it too. And that's going to be his bat call to come on to the show. But I wanted to just give you a brief history first of Proverbs Guys Ministries. We, as some of you know who have been with us for a long time, we're not always Proverbs Guys Ministries. We didn't always have 9 hosts with 9 different shows going on through the week. Originally, it was just Steve and Andrew with Proverbs 27:17. And I was very new to YouTube and I was very bad at YouTube. And none of the major Christians in my life who were on YouTube had a lot of time to spend with me, so they taught me virtually nothing. Whereas Mr. Brett Keane took me under his wing and taught me virtually everything I ever knew about YouTube and podcasting and running live open panels. The entire Lions Dens that we do, or we encourage the atheists to come engage with us, all modeled after the way Brett Keane did his show. So I just want to give a special thanks to Brett for taking that time and showing me what I know and allowing me to be able to grow into what Proverbs Guys Ministries is today. I can honestly say if it wasn't for Brett's help early on, Proverbs Guys would not look anything like it does today. It would be a really poor production. So thank you, Brett. I want to go ahead and play this song that he produced. It's one of the songs on his album, so I want you guys to go check out all the songs on the album. I have it posted in the description of this interview episode, but without further ado, I am going to step backstage and play this song, and I hope you guys all really enjoy it.
I watch you walk these empty halls, talking to the barren walls. You wear the paper crown so proud, speaking to an absent crowd. Your eyes don't see what's real anymore. Drifting further from the shore, I see you slipping through my hands, making castles in the sand. You're dancing with the morning light, chasing visions in the night. You tell me stories of your throne, of kingdoms that you rule alone. But all I see is an empty chair and bitter words that fill the air. I see you slipping through my hands, making castles in the sand. You're dancing with the morning light, chasing visions in the night. Can't you hear me calling out? Can't you see beyond your doubt? Everything you think you own is just a lie you've always known. See you slipping through my hands, making castles in the sand. You're dancing with the morning leave this nowhere land.
All right. Was that not an awesome song or what?
Hey, what you up to, man? Good to be.
Hey, how have you been, Mr. Brett Keane?
Been doing pretty good. Tired today. Had to do a lot of work on graphic design and dealing with some nonsense. But besides that, I'm happy to be here. What's up?
Are you utilizing Canva?
Canva?
Canva. It is an all-in-one multi-purpose tool, and there's a free version that you can try out. You really need to give it a go.
I'll have to check it out. Some kind of, I think I heard of something, some kind of paint program.
Well, it does a lot more than that. It's a fascinating multi-tool, but you can even do video editing on it. But we'll check that out later. First of all, let's dig into your music, man. So you have 20 songs posted on the GodTV Radio YouTube channel. How many songs do you have on all the albums? How much music's out there?
Well, if you check out my website, which is that one of the first links that you put in your description, there's almost, I'd say, practically 40 tracks. Um, there's the other 20 are waiting to be put on CD. The one you just heard is recently on a jewel case CD and a sleeve case.
Oh, okay. I'm pulling this up now so we can share it with the audience and help plug it. Is this the correct link you were talking about?
Yep, that's the
All
site.
right. Let me share this. All right. Ooh, okay. So this is where you can buy the CD, guys. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy the shirts, YouTube channel. All the links here posted. We'll accept all. A lot of albums. Now, music's not new to you, though, Brett, right? You've been doing music for what, 15 years or more?
I was doing music a lot whenever I was a younger man, and then I slowed down, got out of it for a little bit, started writing books and such. I even got one of my books selling on the side as well, and yeah, took a break from it. Got tired of dealing with musicians.
And then is that when you decided to jump into the world of YouTube with all their mini trolls?
Yeah, it was actually a pretty rough time in the moment whenever I decided to start up YouTube. But I used to use like Yahoo Chat and AOL. I can't believe that stuff even existed as long as it did.
All right. Well, just for some of the people who are going to watch this and they don't maybe know who Brett Keane is, Brett Keane was one of the most influential atheists on all of YouTube. Before there was ever an Aaron Raw, it was Brett Keane. Brett Keane was the atheist vindicator. And Brett Keane had a road to Damascus type of experience and is very much trying to live for the Lord now. So we won over one of the biggest tools that Satan ever had on YouTube, and we are extremely underutilizing him.
That's
What else would you go over, Brett?
Well, yeah. I was saying that because I was doing those chats and talking to religious folks and non-believers, a lot of people said, "Brett, you got a pretty cool voice and personality. Why don't you do YouTube?" And I remember checking out YouTube 20 years ago. It was just cat videos and gerbils on wheels. I was like, "Why do they want me to do this thing for?" But I did, and blew up pretty quickly. Well, my only competition was kittens and puppies, so what are you gonna do?
That's true. And you kind of laid the pavement for all of YouTube podcast shows today. All the live panels that you see are almost brainchildren of the way you did your show, the God TV Radio. Is that right?
Yeah. A lot of non-believers, even nowadays, I've noticed because every once in a while I get bored and feel like a masochist and go visit an atheist channel, see what they're saying, and they're not saying anything new or interesting that I haven't already said and better. Yeah, so it doesn't impress me.
Right. Well, okay, and with YouTube, they seem to have a pattern. Anytime somebody goes young Earth creation or even Christian period, they definitely start shadow banning your channel. It's happened to my channel. It's happened to multiple channels for you. Are you afraid at all that that will happen to this channel again?
As far as I know, it could have already happened the moment I, restarted up the YouTube channel. I don't know. I know a lot of Christian YouTubers who are making great looking videos. And I mean, some of the imagery that you use and thumbnails, you're really working hard to make it right. And I think that you should be a lot farther on YouTube than what you are. You should be like 10,000 subs in with the kind of time you put into your work here. So something's wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, you had the same experience. The channel you had when I met you, I think it was over 10,000, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I've went through a lot of channels. Yeah, for some reason, atheists can sit up there and do nasty, weird stuff on video, but if a religious person gets a little feisty, uh-oh.
Okay, yep, exactly. All right, so is YouTube your main platform right now, or is it more or less a backup platform for you? Where are you putting most of your eggs?
Well, I'm mostly dealing with the website and everything and working on that and the music and YouTube's this. I think one of the reasons why I even returned is I like some of the people on here. I dig folks like you and being able to talk to people on social media. But I got to be honest, as far as the religion versus atheist thing, that started getting boring because, like I said, they say the same thing over and over like a scripted robot.
We can't get them to come on our show anymore. I don't know if they're just totally repulsed by us or if they got tired of getting kicked around, but besides like three trolls who are permanently banned, we cannot. I don't think we could pay an atheist to come on our show.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. It's atheists aren't the same way they used to be a long time ago. They were more, how shall I say, beholden. Uh, I don't know if it's right to say this on the screen and stuff, but they seem to have more courage and guts back in the day, and it was maybe because there were people like me around there to give them some good arguments or something. But nowadays they're weak. Yay! Yes, yes, yes. Bravo.
Weak is the best way to describe it, but not as weak, Brett, as their arguments for evolution, right? Yep.
You were saying earlier that a link got reverted. I actually went and checked out that person's channel, and it's an atheist, and he's got the same sob story. Something sad happened, so he had a sad, so therefore God doesn't exist argument. You've heard that a million times. It's always the same deal. It's never for scientific reasons.
Well, yeah, that's another reason why we say, and rightfully so, that evolution and that type of science, the pseudoscience, it is a belief. It is a religion. It goes hand in hand. But now
I don't know if
you're
you grabbed a copy of this off of my TikTok, but I still have that clip of you when you were debating that atheist something. I'm not going to advertise him, but you said, "So you think you're a damn banana?"
oh yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
And he
But
lost
no,
it.
no, 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 no. You added to it, right?
Well, I got the clip. If you don't have a copy of it, people would laugh if they seen that.
Yeah, send that over to me, man. I'll share it. I'll share it on my socials. Hey, you have a live show coming up tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Ha- What are you going to do for the trolls? Are you just going to put them backstage and kind of vet them and see what they're about before you put them on?
Well, to tell you the truth, I can understand why you're using EV Mux now. I went over to StreamYards like I usually used, and it says I can do live streaming up to 2 hours, and that's it per month. And I looked at the price plan, and I was like, $50? What the hell? These people become burglars.
Look, it got bad, Brett. I was still using StreamYard, but we got up to 8 hosts. And when we got up to 8 hosts, the plan on StreamYard would have cost us $300 a month. The plan I have right now on EveMux is only costing me $100 a month. But even that is a steep bill.
I hear you. I don't understand why they think that it's worth that much money. And I'm surprised Google hasn't went ahead and just bought the thing already and made it into their new Google Plus or Google Subtraction, whatever stupid symbols you want to put behind it.
Now, do you have a theme or an idea, a general direction you're wanting your show to go tomorrow?
Well, usually I try to keep things open for people to come in and have discussions and all that. I know it's probably an intelligent idea to come up with some topics, but I figure while I'm waiting, there's plenty of things going on. Been watching the news a lot, and oh my goodness, I could go on all day about politics. I could go on all day about spirituality. I mean, you name it, while I'm waiting for people to come in and, throw some questions at me.
Hmm. You've been pretty busy since we talked last. You've got a slew of music out. You're working on all your different social media platforms. I've been pretty busy too. I produced a documentary on Kent Hovind. Have you seen that yet?
No, I haven't. How long is it?
So it's 5 episodes that are about 40 minutes long each. So it's kind of set as a Netflix series type of documentary, and you can find it at the Unmasking Kent Hovind YouTube channel. So go check that out when you have
Am I
time.
able to get it on CD or anything?
Yeah, yeah. If you go through the Dr. Dino website, it's listed at the store. You can get a DVD copy of it.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yep. But it's also available on YouTube, so you can check it out while you're waiting. But good stuff. Now, what are your plans for the near future, Brett?
Well, still working on the music, and also I've been working on a book about my life. And so far, I've gotten like I don't know, to the point where I'm like 80% done with it. But it's kind of hard to finish the 20% of life when I'm still actually living.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. So, are you saying pretty much you're done up to right now, current events?
Yeah, I'm pretty much to that point, but there's a concern about releasing it because I talk about a lot of family members and actually mention names and all that. And some of my family members, they ain't past the idea of a lawsuit.
Ah, well, why don't you just change some of the names?
Well, it'd be kind of hard because even if I change something to, this person's name is Zip or whatever, they're going to know who I'm talking about. And plus, it's Brett Keane writing Brett Keane's life story, right?
Okay, but what's wrong with that?
Well, even if they didn't want to sue me, there's going to be family members popping on the door wanting to whoop some ass. You understand?
No, I get that. All right. So it's pretty much a waiting game. Are you waiting for some people to die? And if so, as morbid as it is, do you think they'll outlast you?
Well, some of the people are already gone in life, unfortunately, sadly for them. But there are a couple people left where they got roasted pretty hard in the book.
Okay. And this is not your first book. You also have the Afterlife Simulation, right?
Yeah, the other stuff is fantasy, sci-fi, that kind of stuff. And one of my first novels was a horror novel. This is actually based upon, an actual person, me.
True. Yeah. I guess it would be hard to write a book about your own life and to be totally vulnerable and completely honest about all the details, because often we like to keep those skeletons in the closet. So, how much scar have you, exposed during this process?
Oh, I put all of my stuff out there and all that. That's another thing. I know that if I released my book, there'd probably be like tons of documentaries made about me. So that's another thing too to concern. Truth Matters out here says I can't wait to read Brett's biography. Is it short? I wish. No, the thing at this point is around 456 pages.
Mm. Mm-mm. And by the way, I did give you a wrench, Brett. So if you see any trolls out there that I'm missing, feel free to block them.
I don't see anybody causing any trouble out there. You got all the nice people on your channel.
Oh, it took a lot of work to get rid of the certain Canadians and some various others.
Oh, Canadians, them and liberals, what are you going to do with them? How come we haven't bought their country already and ran that place right?
Oh, well, I gave you credit at the beginning of the show for teaching so much about podcasting and running live panels, and all of that's true. But I didn't give you the discredit for some of the trolls I inherited from your platforms. They found me and they stuck like glue.
Well, unfortunately, that is what they do. I've always warned people before I go on shows or podcasts. I say, look, if I come over here, you might make a few friends and all that, but you're also gonna run into a lot of turd burglars. And unfortunately, you have experienced it. Yay!
Oh, I've been bombed and everything. Yeah, I have been like fully christened in the YouTube community.
What do you plan to do? Are you going to keep doing some shows? You got any interesting things coming up?
Yeah, so we have a biblical archaeologist coming up, and then we have a big interview with the family that produces a line of Christian movies, the movie Courageous and Fireproof, and that series. We're going to be interviewing those producers. So we've got some big things lined up. But right now, it's more about developing our website, and we're really trying to push our alternative platform, Rumble. So I think that's going to be our future, Rumble, TikTok, and X. Because let's be honest, YouTube is not Christian friendly.
Well, I'll tell you what, the next time you run into some non believer debaters and they claim up and down that there's no evidence, tell them, well, the abundance of evidence we have for the Bible and geology and the figures in the Bible compared to you claiming that we come from rocks is quite overwhelming. Yeah, you could say that.
You said earlier that you were tired of the whole evolution versus creation argument, and I could understand why. You took that battle on from both sides for a really long time, but you had some of the classic arguments, man, almost on the same scale as Kent Hovind, whereas you would spin it on them. I remember your famous one, the snot on a rock, and explain the variables in the environment. Like, great questions, man.
Well, it's not so much having an issue talking about evolution or science or anything like that. I admire science. I think that we both have a great deal of admiration. I know Kent Hovind loves science as well, and he especially uses it to whip the uneducated out there, which I admire and respect as well. The issue is the type of people we're talking to. We get these folks that come in and they're narcissistic and they act like they know everything, but it only takes 5 minutes to realize they didn't even make it to high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, I do. It's a lot of YouTube professors. They've watched a lot of YouTube videos and they've learned to parrot the information on the YouTube videos, and they will continue propagating it further as science, knowing that we have no observable, testable evidence for any of their claims.
Oh, look at that out there. Missing Mod says we're awesome. That makes me flush.
Yeah, there's been nothing really but good, favorable stuff that I see out in the comment section, which I'm glad we have 9 people watching. I'm not going to open up the panel because I guess last time I let somebody in that was trolling. So I don't want to make a mistake of doing that again. Otherwise, I'd open up the panel and let people ask you some questions.
Well, I don't know. If you start doing that, then other people start bugging you. I am paying attention to the comments. If anyone, everybody's been saying nice things about both of us the whole time, almost making me blush over here. But if anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Oh, you know what? I'm really glad that you and TTOR, I guess it looks like you guys have made up.
Yeah, me and him had one of the same type of problems that you and I ran into a while back, where you brought somebody in, they decided to take over your show. Well, he did the same thing, and I told him before we went in there, I said, look, I'm thinking about quitting YouTube for a year or two and getting out of here. And he's like, oh, that's rough. And I said, this whole politics. It was right before Trump was getting in, and I was really concerned the election was going to get screwed over. And I was just stressed out. And I said, man, I just want to chill. I want to hang out with my friends and have a good time. I don't want any argument or fighting. Within 5 minutes, he had some wild feral animal up in there screaming and yelling directly at me. I was like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, and what blows my mind about it, Brett, is if I quit YouTube tomorrow and never came back, my name would be totally forgotten within a couple of years if it took that long. But you, on the other hand, you've quit YouTube multiple times, and just up to the other day, I was scrolling through YouTube, and for some reason it was advertising the drunken peasants, and they are still obsessed with you. Like,
Oh,
what makes you so special?
well, it's weird, isn't it? How people they make videos saying that they're telling you that you're garbage as a person and you're irrelevant and all this, and it's like, well, if I'm irrelevant, what the hell are you making a video for? If somebody's actually garbage and not worth your time, then why spend an hour or two talking about a person? That's dumb.
Well, yeah, it seems like it's obsession that, or as I've accused others of doing with our channel, they don't produce any good content, so we are the content.
Yeah, that's exactly the way a lot of these podcasts do it. They play other people's content and then talk trash. Me and you could do that, Stephen. We could put somebody's video up, mute them so we can't actually hear what they're saying, and call them names all day. That seems to help the atheist.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Atheist Junior is making a whole living out of doing that against Kent Hovind. Like his entire channel is nothing about declaring war on Kent Hovind's legacy.
Well, you do realize that no matter what Junior does, um, Kent Hovind has already imprinted himself on the universe many years before that guy got out of diapers. So he can try as he might, but it ain't going to do nothing. Even with Kent's flaws and stuff, he's a way better person than that Junior ever could be. Oh, by the way, that's the banana guy that you're talking about.
Oh, that was him. You're right. Yeah. Man, I wish you would. I wish you would make a trip to Noah's Ark in Kentucky with us. We're trying to get a bunch of creationists to go there and protest the atheist protest. And Atheist Junior's one of many people you know that'll be there. And I can't wait to be able to engage him in debate face to face.
That'd be difficult for me. My patience level's very low. I have a hard time not having flashbacks of WWE wrestling.
But it would be really funny because Aaron Raw is going to be there too. And he would almost have to pay you homage because if it wasn't for you, he would be a nobody. He basically mimicked your every move to get where he is.
I ain't doing a very good job of it.
The Gothic Fabio is what I refer to him as. But he's the only poster child they have right now. Mark Reed has fallen off. Grayson Base Theory's fallen off. All the big ones are falling off.
Grayson took off. He seemed like he had a little bit more charisma than the usual baboon. What happened to him?
Well, because he came to Dinosaur Adventureland on a visit and said nice things while he was here, and then as soon as he left, he did a trash talking video basically calling it a cult. And I guess even atheists have some sort of moral code because nobody thought it was in good taste.
Oh, so he went there, and while he was in front of Kent, he treated him with love and respect. But then he comes back, it's on video, runs his mouth. Typical daily atheist. Yep.
Yes. However, there are exceptions to the rule. For instance, Jackson Rowe, I've met him a couple times at Dinosaur Adventureland, and he's a salt of the earth kind of guy. Really is.
Why you say that?
He's a really respectable guy. He's been here multiple times, and even though he, holds to the belief of evolution, he's open to being shown evidence. And even if he disagrees with you, he's just a generally sincere, nice guy.
Are you talking about a non-believer or
Yeah, yeah, he's an atheist. No,
you
he's
actually
full
met an
pledge
atheist
atheist.
that knows how to listen and have a conversation? What kind of miracles are you weaving on me?
Not only that, man, but he loves this place. He comes here and visits like, once every couple of years. It might do you some good to come visit.
Kent has repeatedly asked me in the past to come down there. Unfortunately, although I've gotten a little bit better with this, I still have the agoraphobia issue.
Ah, yeah.
I've gotten a lot better at it though. My wife from time to time will actually take me out on a highway and I try to adapt to it. But I do from time to time have the anxiety attacks, so I got to be careful with that. If there were back roads all the way there, that would work.
I mean, you wouldn't be leaving the South. You would just be driving deeper into the South. So, yeah, I think we could find a route that was all back roads. And maybe we could find some kind of van where we could black out the windows and set you up with a computer and mobile Wi Fi in the back.
I don't know, man. I've seen those videos of those non-believers saying people get put in cans and buried on the compound and all that. I don't know.
The thing is I've been here so many times and I've never come across any of the bizarre things that are claimed to have been here.
Well, I hear you there. I've seen a lot of videos of the place and also seen videos where people visited, and it looks very, very peaceful and beautiful and all that. So I don't know. I don't know where people get that. Maybe it's at nighttime. Everybody turns into vampires or something.
Well, we do have an atheist who's commenting. So we'll go ahead and give it some shout out. It's Zachary, and we are not all jerks, guys. Just like you, if you start treating us poorly, it's fair game. How's different from your end? So I'll let Brett answer this first, and then I'll go give it a whack too.
Well, I feel like his comment was actually fair. If he is going to be decent and respectful right off the bat, unless he's pushed or something, that sounds fair. That's the way I am. I'll be respectful until somebody pushes. So I'm impressed with that. Usually the atheist starts off with the insults and initiates the fire.
All right, so I'll have to agree that that is a fair comment. However, I would point out one thing just to chew on, maybe, Zachary, and that is the the statistics for atheists who troll Christian channels versus Christians who troll atheist channels is way disproportionate. There are a lot more nasty trolls on your side, unfortunately, that make YouTube heck for us.
Well,
Do you think that's fair?
not just for Christians, but also for I don't know if you've seen a while back. The Satanists and the atheists were getting into it for a while there for about a year. It was bad, real bad. And then the Muslims and atheists have had a lot of trouble. But I don't know what it is. Most atheists usually try to treat Muslims nice. It's probably because they're concerned about the whole beheading thing. But besides that, they usually give everybody trouble.
All right. Yeah, good fair point there. That's an interesting point. Not too long ago, you had those shows where you were engaging with the Satanists. Whatever happened to that?
Well, the guy, he was interesting enough, and I thought Christians would like the opportunity to be on a neutral show where they could try to bring them over to Christ and all that and sow seeds. But unfortunately, the head guy of the satanic group, he kept on over and over trying to encourage me to join his, satanic club or whatever. And I said, dude, I am totally for Jesus. I'm totally for God. I know I come off friendly and I'm a nice guy and all that, but don't get it twisted. I am never going to join your satanic shiznet. I said it in a little bit more rougher way than that he could understand. But he basically stated, well, if you're not going to join it, then I don't see why I should talk to you. And I said, no, wait a minute. You can't just hang out, talk, chill out. I got to join your cult in order for you to be friendly to me. That's kind of dumb. And he goes, yeah, that's the way it is. And I said, and here you are telling Christians that they push things onto people, and you're doing that to me. That's not very nice.
True. Yeah. Well, man, that kind of stinks. But now that you've patched things up with TTOR, you know he's one of our hosts here now. Are you guys going to start collaborating again together?
Well, he's already emailed me back and forth a couple times asking me if he could use some of my music for his church and all that. And I told him he could use my music for pretty much anything. And that goes for you as well. I
Nice.
don't really consider what happened with me in TTOR and even the incident with you. It was an aggravating day, but it wasn't something like I turned off my computer and I said, I hate those son of a biscuits. I'm never going to talk to them again, kind of thing. Yeah, I think the reason why TTR might think that I'm angrier than what he imagined was because I literally left YouTube and come back
I
for a while.
Okay, true, yeah. Well, you should definitely invite him onto your live panel, and I'm thinking about coming by and seeing your live panel show too, because it's been a long time since I've been on one with you.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get very many views over there, unfortunately. The channel just started. I've got some subscribers and all that, but I don't know who's going to join. I have the same problem as you, where non believers don't want to come in. They don't want to have a discussion. If they do come in, they usually scream the N word or, that they want to do something to my face or something. But I can't seem to get them to stick around for 5 minutes, no matter how nice I am.
Yeah, that does make it hard to do YouTube sometimes. Well, we've got a pretty decent following, and our traction with our followers is picking up now, so that's all good. And our shorts are starting to get attention. So hopefully, we're on an uphill climb. And, we can definitely do more interviews with you and try to help plug all your stuff and try to get your YouTube going again.
Well, I'd definitely be interested in working with you. It is nice to see that you've got some nice atheists out there, and definitely a lot of decent religious folks. Oof, it's hard to find in social media, man. Oof.
Would you ever consider doing like a moderated debate?
Well, I thought about it in the past. I actually contacted that Standing for Truth, and I thought he and I got along pretty good. And I said, "Hey, man, I wouldn't mind debating some of these non-believers and all that." And he goes, "Oh, that's cool, man. I'll get set up sometime." So 2 months go by. I email him back. I'm like, "Hey, man, you got something set up for me?" "Oh man, I forgot. I'm sorry." So I pretty much got the blues clues that he wasn't really all that interested. There was another group out there called Modern Day Debate. Have you ever heard of that?
I have.
Well, they actually reached out to me. They invited me. So I went over to their channel to look at what they got, and I noticed that how shall I say, they kind of tag teamed against the Christians. And I realized, oh, I see how they're doing they're playing a game here for the atheist. So I don't, if it's not a neutral playground, I'm not going to it.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. I have connections with Donnie from Standing for Truth, one of my favorite YouTube channels on all of YouTube. So you guys be sure to check out Standing for Truth. And he has a lot of atheists that do debates on his channel. So I'll reach out to Donnie and ask if he knows any atheists that would be willing to do a debate with you if you want. And I'll moderate it on Proverbs, guys.
Well, it's fine with me, but you know how I am with the way I do my podcast and all that. I usually like to just try to, because if you say the word debate, it'll scare the hell out of the atheists. They'll be like, oh, because they don't
We
like
can
that whole time thing and all this. But if you say, look, if you want to come in and have an open discussion, things like that, more than welcome to come in. All you got to do is be friendly, and we have kind of like a back and forth and all this. That's cool. But just if you say debate, I guarantee it's going to be right out the window.
And you want to do more of a one-on-one type of deal, right? You don't want an open panel.
No, I don't mind there being non-believers in. If you know who they are, you've talked to them before, and you feel like they'll be respectful and friendly, then I'll go along with what you're saying. But if you bring in random people and they start screaming obscenities and all that, then, well, the patience level and attention deficit goes right out the window.
No, I mean, yeah, that's fair. Well, especially with some of the ones you've attracted, you've had some of the nastiest of the nasty. I can't count how many times you've been pee bombed, or how many times people have come on and called you the N word.
Oh, yeah. I've seen so much nudity and stuff, you'd think my channel should be called Pornhub. It's horrible.
I mean, I don't know if it's that bad, but you have been bombed quite a bit. Yeah.
Well, not
So
just bombed. You got to understand that it's like what we're doing in here. When people are backstage on StreamYards, the other guests can't see what's happening whenever they're down below until you put them up on the screen. Well, it used to be like that, I guess. And people would do all kinds of nasty things down there. I guess they thought they were being broadcasted, but that's why I kicked a lot of people as they were showing off their goods.
yeah, well, one of the nastiest trolls we ever picked up was AL from Canada. You know who I'm talking about.
An
He used to
elf
hang.
from Canada?
Well, his initials are AL, and he was from Canada, and he used to hang around your channel a lot.
An elf from Canada. Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't know. I had a lot of weirdos in my room then.
First name Aiden.
Oh, that guy. No, I would never talk to that fella. He's garbage. What Grayson did to Kent Hovind, that's basically what Aiden did to me. I treated him good. I got him sent a bunch of money to help him not get evicted from his home, and saved him and his girlfriend's life. And the next thing I know, he's trolling me. So screw that guy.
Yeah, you and I are pretty much on the same page, brother. I never helped him out like that or anything, but no, he became a nasty YouTube troll. I think he is an actual troll.
Well, he was friendly at first. I almost felt like he was almost like a bro. There was a close conversation going on there, and this was before the whole. I'm not going to mention full names, but the Mark thing and all
Yep.
that stuff with Kent. Me and him were getting along fine. It seemed like. Well, what happens is I he starts telling me, man, I'm having it bad. He says I'm disabled and I don't know what to do about money to save my house and all this and my girlfriend. And I basically did an entire video just for him, a show where I asked for people to donate money to this guy. I made it clear he's an atheist, and they donated tons of money to him and saved his ass. And then he turns around, goes over to Mark's channel, and starts rapping on me. It's hateful.
Yeah, and it's really uncalled for because it sounds like you were really good to him. And you guys were really close for a long time, so that was really bizarre.
I cared
What
about him. I cared about him like a little brother and all that. When he did that, it did bring a tear or two to my eye and stuff to see such animosity and disgustingness. That's why I just can't be around him anymore. It's not because he's smart and clever and can say some zingers. It's sad to see somebody that you care about just stick the blade in. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. What about Adam Lore? Do you still talk to Adam Lore?
I don't know if Adam Laura is still alive or if he even exists anymore. I was gone for a while and didn't receive any emails for him, but I remember the last time I talked to him, he told me several times he was having some serious health issues. So I don't know. I said, I mean, are we talking life or death serious? And he said, yeah. So I haven't seen him since I've been back. I hope he's okay.
Mm. Are you still close with any of the people that you had relationships with from YouTube back from like 2020?
Uh, I don't. It's more of a with a lot of people. It's more of an association type of thing. It's like they'll talk to you when you do a live show or whatever, but they're not over here having barbecue or anything with me.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but do you think it's all of their faults, or do you think some of them just caught you on bad days?
I think some people caught me on a bad day. Some. I think that there are times where I make it clear when I'm talking about my personal life. I deal with severe depression, and I also, some days I'm feeling really good and I can take on the world. Other days, just looking at me wrong is a bad move. It is what it is. I try to warn people about it, especially people I care about.
Yeah, amen to that. Well, Brett, do you want to go ahead and, as we start wrapping this up, do you want to plug your channels and tell people where to find you, where to access you on your website, the albums you have, albums you're working on? Go ahead and plug your stuff.
All right. Well, if you look up there, you'll see X. Brett Keane show right there. That's my Twitter. They call it X now. And you see yt.com/GodTV radio. I only have one single channel that is actually me, and that's the official one. If you see any other channels where they're claiming to be Brett Keane, it's most likely an atheist who's got some kind of aquatic fetish.
Okay. Okay. All right. And as far as the album you have now, you said you have about 40 singles. So are you going to be
No, no,
dropping
no.
any?
40 tracks that are up there, people are able to actually buy digital copies, but I got 20 songs actually on a CD that people can get nowadays.
Now, is are all of these songs coming from the mind of Brett Keane, or are you doing what a lot of artists are doing now and incorporating the AI into it?
I've used some AI in order to clean up noise and use reduction and all that. And also, AI is very useful if you perform the music and then you run it through an AI and say, hey, I want it pumped up, I want it stronger. And sometimes you could actually try to see what it would sound like if it were to change the instrument to something else, see if it's more clear. I have played around with AI. It is neat. Needs some more advancement, though, in technology.
Yeah, especially all the free versions out there right now are pretty still shoddy, but some of the paid versions that especially Christian YouTube channels are taking advantage of is awesome stuff.
See that right there? That's the CD case and shows the disc and all that. That's all the imagery just on one CD alone. It's pretty nice, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. How long do you think it'll be before AI puts musicians and artists, digital creators out of business, out of jobs?
Well, I think that AI is a danger for humanity. Actually, I watched a video recently where some Asians were working on a robot and they basically tried to give it feelings and emotion. Well, the thing realized that it was chained around the neck. It didn't like it, and it began trying to rip itself from the thing that was holding it and started swinging at the scientists. So I think it's a bad idea, but it's not just dangerous to put AI into a robot or a machine where it actually has a physical body to beat you up with. It's also dangerous because if the thing connects to the internet, like Grok over an X, and the thing starts getting into all the knowledge bases, it could lock up people's computers, it could activate weaponry, do a lot of stuff. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I am talking Skynet here, Terminator business.
That is scary stuff, and that's my fear too. So that's probably where we're headed. Well, all right. I want all of you guys to go show some love to God TV Radio. Go check out some of Brett's music and support his content. If you haven't ever heard him talk before, he has the voice of a podcasting angel. His voice was made for YouTube podcasting, and that's probably because every YouTube podcaster, whether they know it or not, came from the inspiration of Brett Keane. So even though you may not have ever heard of him, or maybe you have, he deserves a bigger place in YouTube history than what he currently got.
Same for you there, guy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'm going to put us backstage, Brett, and we're going to play your song again while we're backstage. And if you look just where you see the screen, in the top left corner, there's a little speaker. And if you push that, you and I won't hear the music and we can talk backstage while I'm playing this song.
Oh, I see a speaker up there. Sure.
I watch you walk these empty halls, talking to the barren walls. You wear the paper crown so proud, speaking to an absent crowd. Your eyes don't see what's real anymore. You're drifting further from the shore. I see you slipping through my hands, making castles in the sand. You're dancing with the morning light, chasing visions in the night. You tell me stories of your throne, of kingdoms that you rule alone. But all I see is an empty chair and bitter words that fill the air. I see you slipping through my hands, making castles in the sand. You're dancing with the morning light, chasing visions in the night. Can't you hear me calling out? Can't you see beyond your doubt? Everything you think you own is just a lie you've always known. See you slipping through my hands, making castles in the sand. You're dancing with the morning light, chasing visions in the night. Fading away, the crown is falling from your head. The kingdom's only in your head. I wish that you could understand. It's time to leave this nowhere land.